God of War Ragnarok Valhalla is single-handedly probably one of my favorite DLCs that's came out in the most recent years. Obviously, that's probably going to change when Elden Ring's DLC comes out, but just let me have this, okay? You can call it recency bias, you can call it meat writing, I don't give a fuck, okay? Santa Monica cooked on this one, okay? They cooked. They really did. Obviously, before I start this actual video, spoiler warning for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, God of War Valhalla, because some of you haven't played it yet, and I get it. I think I like it for three main reasons. The story and like how it fits into Ragnarok and how it takes place afterwards. The gameplay and the integration of this new story and this new IP with the old one and how it's affected Kratos in his journey. Instead of like going to like being like, oh, this is the story segment of it, this is the gameplay segment. I'm just gonna talk about them all in one. I don't really want to format my videos like a video essay. Told from the beginning of the story that Valhalla is a gauntlet for Kratos' mind and his body. We are told that from the beginning when you go in there and you fucking die, and then Freya comes up and she's like, why the fuck did you do that? You're a dumbass. And he's like, oh shit, I didn't fucking know. I really like this because most of his anxiety and regrets and whatever the fuck he's done in recent times and in the past years are all present here. It's not just like, oh, you were a bitch a little bit. Like everything that he has gone through, he is kind of experiencing in I think a really fun way. I really like this because most of his anxieties and everything are all like personified here well. His past traumas, uh, whether that's you know Greece or here, his battles, whether that's Greece or here, and fucking God, this guy. This DLC doesn't hold back. He goes through the ringer like quite a bit. The conflict that arises before we even hop into Valhalla, just for a little preface, is Freya at the end of God of War Ragnarok. His boo thing, mommy, if you'd want, asks Kratos to be the God of War again, and now for Kratos that sets off a shit ton of red flags. He already was the God of War. He already dealt with all that shit and became a fucking he killed everyone. Like he was crazy, right? I think this is great because it adds to his anxieties. It's not just the main preface of it. I mean, that is the overarching story, is becoming the God of War again, or trying to figure out if he wants to. But it adds to his personal anxieties and shit that he hasn't been able to talk about, because he's the God of War, he's Kratos, he doesn't talk, he hits things and this and that. The way they personify the struggles is really interesting. They do it obviously through the story and the cutscenes and whatever, but they also do it through the gameplay. You walk in there and it's like, oh, this is Valhalla. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, we're in Midgard. Oh, wait, actually, we're in Vanaheim. We're in this, we're in that. We're going, you know, we're going through this whole process of Kratos going through different areas of his life and just killing things. I mean, there's a whole section dedicated to his, like, when he's in Greece and he is fighting, fucking the Sirens, he's fighting Cyclops, he's fighting all those people, and it's really fucking cool. It's really cool to be able to go through and experience all that shit. As you're going up, you go to this final battle that is Tyr, um, and it's really cool. Tyr is the previous god of war, and it's essentially giving, like, lending it to Kratos. He's obviously making him work for it, but he's saying, you know what, if you want to be the god of war, here's what you have to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is you need to fix yourself. You can't be this angry dude that's always, you know, and that's how Kratos views himself. He thinks, "Oh, I'm this fucking angry guy. I'm not fit to be the god of war." And Tyr shows him, "Hey, Yeah, you've done some fucked up things in the past. I get it. But look at you now. Look at what you're doing now. Like, look at what you did before and the intention of what you did. It was a somewhat noble cause for what he did. Gameplay wise, it's a dungeon crawler. It's if you've ever played The Binding of Isaac or like the original Legend of Zelda, you go into a room, it's completely randomly generated. You go out of the room, it's randomly generated. You get loot, you get this, you get that. Bada bing, bada boom. I love that type of like gameplay. If you don't like it, I understand, but that's personally what I like. You go through this gauntlet, I want to say 7 or 8 times minimum. I think that's how many times it took me. So I would say overall kind of short, but you also have to think it's a free DLC. So it's basically just an extension of the video game, which I think is pretty cool. I think people wanting to expect this whole DLC with, crazy ass set pieces and everything, I think it's obviously be really cool, but I just think it's far fetched. Every time you go through one of these gauntlets, you do get sent back to the beginning, which is kind of ass, especially if you're not the best at video games. But it's rewarding because at the end of each one, Kratos does get some relief of his trauma and anxiety. He learns, oh, I guess I'm not that much of a dick. And then he's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess I did help people out. And then he's like, oh, shit, maybe whatever. And then finally, after seven, like I said, 7 or 8, you get this amazing scene that is worth however many hours you put in this game, which shouldn't be a lot, or this DLC, I mean. It is worth. This final scene is just so rewarding and it's so lovely, and I'm glad they implemented it. I'm gonna show you guys that now. Actually, kind of a cakewalk. Oh shit! All menacingly walking into this bitch.
What can I say to you? I remember how it felt to take that throne. All that it meant. And all that it did not. A god of war. God of pain. Of suffering. Of destruction. And the moments that I chase redemption. That I know I can never deserve. What does that make me? God of fools. God of...
Oh shit! Jack, I don't have time to listen to that bullshit for a second, alright?
Lost everything. And everyone. You killed. There is no forgiving you. You chose. Should I sing? Should I sit? Take? Proclaim? Lead? Place myself into service?
God, Christopher Judge, dude.
It'd be cool if they had you fight him.
Dude, imagine.
They're speaking of decide so that I do not come to you. I do not. But I have hope.
I had this scene spoiled because it's like when you're waiting for your dad to come wipe your ass and it's him walking up to his younger self.
fuck, dude. Me seeing my younger
You
self
ever-
do all that cringe shit, so I gotta give him a talk. On God, dude. Me just thinking, you know what? I'm not gonna say that on the stream. Never mind.
I
But
don't even remember if I was dreaming. Like, I don't know.
what happened there? Oh,
I
dude, this is
I
so
still love
fucking
this path,
awesome.
but I think it would have been cool if they had a little fight.
Oh, I agree.
But see, he's not sitting there all fucking cocky like now.
He's sitting there with like, yes, dude. Yes, this is what I wanted from this fucking DLC, and it's exactly what I got. Oh, I'm sitting on his head.
I love how they became like bros.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the beginning, he was kind of just like, I don't care, you're just another god to me.
No. None of you. I would like to sit here for a while.
Oh, lad, the fucking universe is still dying. We gotta do shit, lad. What are you doing? Oh man,
God of
that is so cool. That is. I'm making a video on this DLC, dude. As you saw, Kratos, and as you saw from my reaction, I fucking love the shit out of it, first of all. And secondly, he is finally relieved from this. Well, I guess a good metaphor would be his chains. He's finally relieved. He talks to his younger self, or, the younger self doesn't talk back, but he's like, you are the embodiment of everything that I am against now. And it's great that he has this. He's like, I'm not gonna be the god of war, I'm the god of hope. And I just, it's fucking awesome. It is so cool. um I myself am a sucker for these redemption stories. My favorite video game of all time is Red Dead Redemption 2. You start as this dude who's a ne'er-do-well and not too good of a guy, and through the story he becomes a good guy. Obviously it's really different in the context of Valhalla. Kratos isn't necessarily a bad guy. In his mind, he's a bad guy, and that's kind of essentially how you have to play this game or this DLC, is through Kratos' mind. So Kratos views himself as this evil, essentially, and then he slowly realizes that he is good. And I love it too because it coincides with the theme of the base game, which is we have to be better. He has to be a better guy. If you haven't played this DLC, I highly recommend it. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's free if you have the game and a PS5, and if you don't have either of those, I'd suggest you do that. I don't care if you have to pay rent or whatever the fuck. Just play the goddamn game. It's awesome. Either way, I'm a Kratos glazer, a Santa Monica glazer, a Sony glazer, a Story glazer, a Red Dead glazer, whatever the fuck you want to call me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just lucky to have been able to play such an amazing DLC. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video goes a little bit more smoothly. I had a script that I kind of went by. I'm sure you guys can see me reading it a little bit. But overall, I hope it's a little better. I hope the cuts are a little better. Editor Revan, come on. And I hope you like what you saw. And if you did, follow me on YouTube, Twitch, fucking TikTok, whatever, dude. Just follow me and all your problems will go away. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, thank you all for watching and I hope you have a good night. Goodbye.